It's grunt work that needs to be done accurately, fast, and to do it cheaply, it's often farmed out to places like Africa.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, has revolutionized the world as we know it. From automating mundane tasks to powering sophisticated systems like ChatGPT, AI is shaping the future. But beneath the slick veneer of progress lies a grim reality, a story of exploitation, trauma, and injustice. This is the untold story of Kenyan workers who paid a heavy price to make AI safer for the world. What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence by machines. It powers tools like ChatGPT, which can generate text, answer questions, and assist in various tasks. But for these systems to work, they need to be trained using vast amount of data. This includes identifying harmful content, violence, hate speech, and explicit material so that AI can learn to filter it out. What many don't realize is that this filtering requires human labor, and that's where the story takes a darker turn. The role of Kenyan workers. To make ChatGPT less toxic, OpenAI, the creator of the chatbot, turned to Kenyan workers employed by a California-based outsourcing firm called Sama. These workers were tasked with reviewing and labeling some of the most disturbing and explicit content imaginable. For their efforts, they were paid less than $2 per hour. Exploitation and trauma. The tasks assigned to these workers were not only monotonous, but often psychologically devastating. They were exposed to content that no one should have to see, text and images depicting murder, rape, child abuse, and more. Despite the severity of the work, many workers reported inadequate psychological support. Counseling, when provided, was described as ineffective. OpenAI's accountability. While OpenAI remains silent on these allegations, critics argue that the outsourcing of such work is a deliberate tactic to distance tech companies from the harsh realities faced by content moderators. The aftermath for Kenyan workers. When Sama terminated its contract with OpenAI 8 months early, workers were left without income and with lingering trauma. Many were reassigned to lower-paying roles or lost their jobs altogether. Workers like Richard Mathenge called for a new legislation to protect those exposed to harmful content as part of their jobs. But so far, Kenya's Ministry of Labor has remained silent. The global context. This issue isn't confined to Kenya. Across the globe, workers in developing countries, including India and the Philippines, are being hired to do similar work for a fraction of the cost. Kenya, with its high rate of English speakers and educated workforce, has become a hub for this labor. But this opportunity often comes at a heavy cost to the workers' mental health and dignity. Steps towards justice. Former moderators have filed a petition urging the Kenyan government to investigate Sama and OpenAI. They demand stronger labor protections, better pay, and acknowledgement of the mental health risks inherent in content moderation. While some progress has been made, including the formation of Africa's first content moderation trade union, much remains to be done. As AI continues to evolve, the human cost of its development cannot be ignored. The story of Kenyan workers is a stark reminder that progress should never come at the expense of dignity, fairness, and mental well-being. Let's demand accountability from tech giants like OpenAI. Let's advocate for ethical AI practices and stronger labor protections. If we don't, the question isn't whether progress will leave people behind, but how many will be trampled in its wake. Subscribe to Zile Tales for more deep dives into the untold stories shaping our world. Zile Tales, where stories matter.